All right. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me, Citizens United, tonight. Monday, cold Monday. Wade's here.
How you doing?
I know you don't have a mic next to you. You're always back there doing your stuff, keeping us on, like you did for Gold Guy. Every show, you're keeping us on. Because without Wade, we'd be just talking to ourselves in like a box. No one would hear us. Robin's sick. Geez, she's terrible. No COVID, but terrible flu. And kind of miss Robin from being here. But I know she's going to be at home in the message board. So when you're messaging, she'll be in there mixing it up with you and stuff. What I want to do is we have a guest coming up, but before we bring Assemblyman Morinello in, I got a couple videos, Wade, I'd like to run. Okay, ready?
Are calling for the state to pass a bill that would allow them to have their day in court. They're asking lawmakers to pass the Adult Survivors Act. It would give those who were abused at 18 and older a year to file a civil claim, regardless of whether the statute of limitations has expired. The Senate passed the act last year, but it has not made its way past the Assembly. The Adult Survivors Act is based on the Child Victims Act, which allowed more than 10,000 childhood sexual abuse survivors to sue their abusers.
I didn't find the courage to come forward for 22 years. After years of therapy and after extricating myself from the environment, from the industry that harbored my abusers.
Safe Horizons has launched a new social media campaign called Trauma Takes Time, and it's meant to raise awareness that survivors often need time to heal before coming forward with their stories.
And that's they just said it. Survivors Act. Why am I forgetting why am I forgetting the name of it already off the top of my head? But anyways, next we're going to have something about the Child Victims Act. And that's just because it ended last August.
An important window in the Child Victims Act closes on Saturday. That law is designed to give sex abuse survivors more time to bring charges. NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos explains.
The Child Victims Act was passed by the New York State legislature and signed by Governor Cuomo in February of 2019, and it dramatically changed the landscape of child sex abuse prosecutions and civil lawsuits. Notably, the law extends the statute of limitations in both criminal and civil cases. The law is designed to allow child victims of sexual abuse additional time to bring civil and criminal charges. Criminal felony charges can be sought until the victim is 28 years old, and misdemeanors until the victim is 25 years old. Now, going forward, the law will allow survivors of child sexual abuse to file a lawsuit until their 55th birthday. But in addition to that, the law originally created an unlimited one-year window in which anyone can file regardless of their age and regardless of how long ago the abuse occurred. Now, that one-year look-back window ended up being a several-year look-back window. Because of COVID-19, Governor Cuomo extended that period multiple times. But that window slammed shut this Saturday, August 14. After August 14, if the survivor has not filed a civil lawsuit, if the statute of limitations has otherwise expired, that case may be lost to them forever.
Okay, those are the two videos. It was the Adult Survivors Act, and that, of course, is the Child Victims Act that did end last year on August 14th. My guest today is a friend of the show and a friend of mine, Assemblyman Angelo Morinello. How you doing, Assemblyman?
Good, John. How are you? We just finished our Albany session for the day. It was pretty long. A lot of things going on, but I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, I know. You're in that's what I was going to say. You guys are really busy now. You're there all the way till like June? Is that how it goes?
This year, it's June 2nd is the target date, but we're always at the call of the speaker. And what they did this week, we would have been in Albany for 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. But the district line for Senate and Assembly come out tonight, and there's a 3-day curing period. They've extended us till Thursday of this week. So it'll be another busy week in Albany.
Yeah, yeah. Assemblyman, I got to ask you about one of the videos, and it's coming up, the Adult Survivors Act. Now, it already made it through the Senate. It's headed to the Assembly. Is that how it is right now?
Well, right now, I'll tell you this, 2 years ago, it did come to the floor. It did assembly. It did 2018, 2007, 1920, it did not make it to the floor. And this year, it's in the Judiciary Committee, where it has been, and it has not come to the Judiciary Committee yet. And all the way it works is there's various bills have to go through certain committees, and those committees have to review them and can come to the floor. Best estimate, this will make it to the floor this year. I think it's important. And I can tell you that 2000 I've got to refer to some, but it was, I believe, 2019. It came through unanimous in the Assembly and Senate. I know it did, but it never made it to the floor in the Senate there. There's discussions. As you can see, in movement, and we said, let me just though before we go any further, because the bill every 2 years when we go back into session, bills have to be reintroduced. So for this session, which would have been last year till December 30th, the Assembly bill number is actually A648. So if you go on and look for the bill, you're going to have to do A648. The prior session, it was 2683. So if you look for that, you won't find it. That's a caution to everybody. But what it basically does is, John, adult survivors. Now, we went through the child survivors, and it extended two things: the statute of limitation, both civil and criminal. And what this bill also does is, if the charge is against a municipality or public entity, there is a provision in law that says you have to file what's called a notice of claim. You have to put the municipality, public entity on notice that you intend to sue. Well, that is a bar to any actions. This bill removes that bar so that a defense is not a non-timely filing of a notice of claim, and it extends the statute of limitation, or it eliminates that as a bar for 1 year after the implementation, which would be 6 months after the effective date. So you would have technically, to be able to put it together, 1 year and 6 months to be able to put this together, to bring either your criminal or civil action on the survival of any sexual abuse claims that you may have.
Yeah, so that's the thank you. That's the Adult Survivors Act. Is there been any? So the appetite's there. It's going to go through. It's going to happen.
Yes.
All right. Is there any thoughts about this? We talked about this one time, where people, during the Child Victims Act, it was hard for some of the people that wanted to bring cases forward because, if it wasn't against the church or against the schools, there was no money in it for a lawyer. What about a fund, maybe? Something to do to help those that can't get it forward, because obviously, I understand, a lawyer doesn't want to take it if it's not worth it.
There is a bill, and unfortunately I don't know the number, and I'm not sure to be introduced for this type of fund. But I would think that if it's passed and that becomes a bar, that's something that can be revisited. However, if we really look at the Child Victims Act, What it has done is it establishes the court procedures. I would find it very difficult to believe that if someone has a factual basis to bring a claim, that you will have the same law firms coming forward to assist with the, possibly assist in the financing with the cost, because of history of the Child Victims Act and the successes that they've had with the Child Victims Act. So what this might do is just piggyback and use that as a learning experience, Jen.
Now, as you know, you've got such a good, incredible experience. You know, lawyer, judge, now you're a lawmaker. What do you think? The Child Victims Act. I mean, I couldn't have imagined so many claims. You know, incredible amount, and and I think like Western New York had the third most in New York State. Do you think it did enough? Do you think it spread enough awareness? Maybe. Do you think it did enough, or does it need? Or you know what I mean? I guess that's what I'm asking you.
Well, you know, that's an opinion question, but I believe there was on the not only social media, not only podcasts, but the television, the information put out by various law firms, that I really believe people became aware. And the secondary awareness is those that the organizations that have gone into bankruptcy, because those cases are still pending, and they're in conversations, and there is articles in the newspaper. So, believe it brought awareness? Yes. Do I believe it assisted a large number of people? Yes. Do I believe it was a warranted legislation? Yes, I do. I cannot speculate whether or not everyone who deserved their day in court or deserved to come forward did in fact come forward. But I would want to believe that there was enough outward actions that everyone, or at least the biggest majority of those, did come forward and know about it. Your clip dealing with the Adult Survivor Act, I believe, will do two things. One, it will bring awareness to the Child Victims Act, okay, even though this is the adult, so that even though they may not be able to fall under the umbrella of the extended or the waived statute of limitation, I believe that going forward, there is enough there that people will come forward. And I really believe that both in combination will bring to justice those that are the perpetrators and to assist those who are the victims, John.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think what has been done, this is my opinion, is that maybe it makes New York State a little more of a friendlier place for the survivors or victims. Just, you know, that they have they know
correct.
That it's friendly, and there's someone there to listen, and hopefully it's our, you know, our courts and our lawmakers. Yeah. We're with Assemblyman
John, on a personal note, anybody who abuses a child, okay, it better not be somebody I know that is the victim. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah,
I feel the way you do, John.
No, yeah, it's overwhelming. It really is. I know I know. We've talked. It's overwhelming. It's sometimes it almost takes up every minute of my thinking. I guess the next thing I want to ask you, because I've been asked this myself, and this is just a procedure, I guess, thing. Yeah. How do you change, if you wanted to, if in your mind you're like, you know what, statutes of limitations on whatever isn't right, I don't like it, I want to change it. Is there a way that I could, or the community or anything? Because I know the governor did it at one point. Is there any way, like a statute could be changed?
Well, John, statutes can be changed legislatively, okay. But to change statutes of limitations generally, I find would be a very, very steep uphill climb. Yeah. These two bills, the child and the adult, they did extend some of the statutes, like on rape, on some of the other issues. And then there are where there are no statutes of limitations. But it's difficult to give a general answer because each would have to be looked at individually. Each would have to be looked at to make a determination as to whether or not there are individuals who are not being justified and they are not getting their day in court. So I think it's something that cannot be answered in a general question, but it has to be analyzed and with each individual situation. And when I say situation, I mean each individual law, John.
Thank you. And this is Assemblyman Angelo Morinello, New York State Assemblyman, if you're not from around here. And we have limited time because he's busy. I got a question for you on a different note. It has to do with something I read in the New York Post. I think it was printed yesterday. And it's about the New York State Democratic chairman, which I guess, whatever. He agrees with the mayor of New York City that bail reform, something needs to happen. It seems like all of a sudden they're changing their minds. I've never got a chance to ask you about bail reform. What do you think?
Here's how I look at it. Right now, it always seems like there's two schools of thought: condone it or repeal. I'm of a different mind, okay? I believe that we need to adjust and look at anything dealing with the law as we go forward. I firmly believe we do need to address any shorts. Now, those that were proponents of it, they look at it. Victims Act and the Adult Victims Act. We have to relook at those, and we've done something on them. And I really and truly find it difficult to accept that this spike in violent crime is strictly because of COVID. Okay? I think that that's a weak excuse. And what I find the most disturbing, John, you grew up, and I knew your father. Okay, we had to be responsible for consequences of our actions. Okay? We didn't get free passes growing up. And what I see society going to is refusal to allow individuals to understand they must be responsible for consequences of their actions. It's like free reign. The mayor of New York City is now showing that when they did raise the age, many of these crimes, the violent crimes, gun crimes, are done with those that would have been adults but are now considered child under the raise the age. And so the gangs are using these young kids. I'm not trying to throw gasoline on a fire. I am not trying to incite anybody. Take a look at it. Crime, what was happening in some of the major cities. They were going in and looting, just looting, and they were saying, well, it's COVID. Well, I guess if you're frustrated with COVID, you have a right to go steal 20 Louis Vuitton bags and walk out of a store and demand that you have no accountability. So we do have to look at it. And I think the issue becomes one of giving judges more discretion when they have to assess a situation in front of them or a defendant, rather than wholesale let them go. Now, the other coin is there are some bad judges, official judges. Let's go after the bad judges. Let's put them to task, okay? But we can't just throw civility because of that. 99% of all of this comes from Rikers in New York City. And again, New York City is telling the what should time for me to fully go into what I learned from detectives on the alleged poster child for bail reform. Okay? Bottom line is, let anybody kid you that this young man, they charged because they had nothing. He's on probation for stealing a red truck and smashing it into a car in the street. He was put on probation and he stole, a backpack. But it was from a Mexican national who went back to Mexico, so they had no witness. He was forgotten, Lakers. Mother didn't know. His family really didn't care because he was a troublemaker. When they realized they had forgotten him and the charge, because they didn't have the witness anymore. It was 2 years later he committed suicide, not in the jail cell. And he was in segregation because of an anti-rape statute. Young incarcerated with it. So you really have to look at what's behind all of this,
Right.
and what crimes are.
Assemblyman, I'm gonna let you go only because we're starting to get choppy. Oh, go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, John. Okay.
No. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I didn't want to cut you off, but we're kind of getting a little choppy with the audio.
All right, no problem, John.
No, thank you, and you got to come back. This is your first time on my show.
Yep, no problem. We'll talk. And
Thank you,
I
Assemblyman.
always talk to you. When you call, we talk. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Assemblyman. Have a good one. All right, that's Assemblyman Angelo Morinello. And nice of him to join us today. I'm sorry that got choppy. I mean, I think he's in Albany or somewhere, you know. And what are you going to do? I mean, we tried. We went as long as we could. It was good. We had its moments. We heard a lot that we needed to, actually, though. We heard all, we talked about the adult. Why do I keep, you know what it is? I keep wanting to say the Child Victims Act, and it's the Adult Survivors Act. Statute of limitations, things like that. You know what? I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back from break, the most fierce advocate, what else would you call it? She's a survivor, and my friend, Noelle DelZoppo will be with me. We'll be back. All right, we're back, and thanks to Assemblyman Morinello. And next to me is my friend. I said what she is, big advocate for all survivors of, especially, of sexual crimes and sex crimes and all that. Yeah. Young and old, I don't care what they, right? Children or not. Yeah. Survivor herself, and I'm happy you're here.
Thank you for having me.
No,
I
anytime.
love being here.
Be here anytime you want. You could co-host every show if you wanted to. You come in anytime you want
here.
to.
I like it.
What was I going to say to you? What's new? Let's start with that, because you know what? You are the leading source in certain things, I think, in Niagara County, because no one else cares.
Right.
Anything new on the D'Angelo case that we can say? I mean, I know there's a lot new, but there's a lot you can't. I know you can't speak about.
God, there's so much that I do know that I wish I can say. That's why I always say everything I say it confidently because I know this stuff's happening. But so far, I didn't hear if there's going to be a new judge or not. It seems like it's taking forever. Did we speak about what happened in December yet? Was I on here to speak
I don't
about
think
that?
so.
No. Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, since then, the big thing before that is Nick D'Angelo, serial rapist out right now, walking free on 12 rape charges. I'm going to keep saying 12. Including a minor. So Nick wanted to fight to have all the women separated at trial. You know that.
Right.
Get everything dropped down and stuff. So Judge Clock decided that he was going to allow the girls to be together for trial. He basically denied everything except for he dropped the unlawful imprisonment thing, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah.
Makes no sense. But because the years are still there, all of them.
Right.
I feel like if you're being raped in a car, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're being held against your will.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do know, though, that I guess during the court date, I guess Nick was bragging about his new car. So that's how it is with him. He just goes in there and brags about his car, and he really doesn't think anything's going to happen to him, which pisses me off.
And it's a scary, though, that's a really scary for people out, the public.
Yeah, no wonder why people don't want to come forward.
Yeah.
I've spoken to at least 40-something people so far, victims, that have been affected by him. Not all sexually, most of them, but with like CPS cases, their children are being taken and out of spite. It's sickening. The longer they have this go on for.
Yeah.
He's not going to stop. Why would he, though?
No, because he's just given like a free pay. He's just allowed.
He's just being allowed to. So why would he?
It's almost like going after the quarterback and not being blocked.
Yeah,
just go right in.
If
you have any questions or anything you want to ask, because Noelle's here, go to the message board and we'll try to figure. We'll look at it. I'm kind of looking myself. I know Robin's in there, but she's far away. She's in.
I know. So
she's back at home.
It's like what you said. It's weird without her here.
Her missing spot over there. Yeah. Hopefully she'll be back
weird.
Next week. We got to get her back hopefully by Friday.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you got any questions or anything you want, let us know. So he's allowed to do, as we know, it's been going on forever now. He's just
like 2 years.
2 years
of. Like 2 years, I think.
Has there, and this is the sick thing, and I don't know if you can answer this. He's probably still doing. He's still offending, I would guess. Why not?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. He's I've talked to a few people recently who felt more comfortable now to come forward because obviously beforehand, they knew Nick had like pictures of them or videotapes inappropriately. He saves them up. And once I start telling them, like it's okay, like don't be embarrassed. Like he's not supposed to have those things. It's you're the victim. He's not. So a lot of people have been stepping up now, feeling more comfortable, telling me that they've been affected by him.
I'm going to say something. I put it on Facebook, and and I got to say it on here. I don't think I did. What you're doing is incredible because you have said everything.
Yeah.
You've been wide open. Everything that happened in that situation, everyone knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's awesome because it lets those other, I think it gives the other victims that thing where, I can do it. Why not? It isn't, it's because this guy's coercing people. And if he's got you under your thumb, if he's got you in some legal way.
Yeah. That's what he uses against you. Like blackmail.
Blackmail. Oh, it's definitely blackmail.
Yeah.
And having a lawyer is expensive. So, geez.
Blackmail. So, I just know that that's something I was afraid to, come out and everything because of that. But now once I did and I realized all these other people have the same issues with me that he's trying to use against them, it's like, okay, I got to tell people this because it's going to help others. And it did. Other people are like, okay, so me too. Okay, I feel better.
Yeah.
Come forward. And he is, let me tell you, the stories and the victims that have came forward, he is a violent piece of crap. He's violent. It's not like he's just... he's violent.
He's violent, and he's violent towards those, obviously, that he can overwhelm. I mean, you know, the guy's not really. He to look at him, you would say, "Geez, we saw him that time, Wade. Remember?"
Yeah, it's hard to miss those ears.
No, but the thing is, like, he's not really an imposing figure,
Right.
You know, but he is when you're talking about. You know,
Right.
young people, you know, vulnerable people, or those, and obviously some of the women that he's attacked, and even the men are a lot smaller, lighter. I mean, the guy's just right. I mean, we saw him. It isn't like he's an imposing figure, but son of a bitch.
Noelle has caught a lot of shit from different people, but you know what?
Yeah.
What's really just great is how she's kept on fighting, and everything Noelle has said has
true.
turned out to be true.
Yeah.
And, not just about D'Angelo, but about the Bassos and all other people as well. So hats off.
Yeah,
But
no,
it
it's
wasn't
all
for
true.
you guys either, though. I mean,
Well,
as your guys'
we're always here, definitely
you
to
guys
help.
are.
You know, you want to go. I mean, I'll never forget the protest at the Como.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
That was crazy.
That was because it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Gail DelZoppo's here, and she said something about intimidation. Yeah, you would think there'd be witness intimidation charge, something.
Oh, yeah.
There should be more charges being thrown on him as we speak.
There should
Maybe
be.
there is, though. We don't know.
There might be.
That's
There
the other
might
thing.
be.
Like, there's no court date. We're already in 2022. There's no judge. We know that Judge Clock, though, unbelievably, after retiring, is going to make another. He's going to make probably $100,000.
Oh, yeah. He's
To
coming right
be Ottaviano's like law clerk.
Yeah, coming right back.
That's insane.
I did speak about that to, who was it? One of the people on the case. I said, is this going to be, can this happen? Because, you know, the new judge, Ottaviano, I don't think that he could be a judge because of Carolyn Watasek working on that campaign. She had to recuse himself. I honestly don't even feel comfortable with having Judge Clock coming back to help, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think they might.
That should disqualify him right there, just because of,
let
alone everything else.
I have a feeling an Erie County judge will come in, and I hope so.
Has to be. It has to be, and this is going too long. The problem that I see is, and this is where I thought Judge Clock was absolutely off target when he wouldn't set bail. He didn't care about the community safety.
No.
He didn't even bring that up, and the community's at risk with that guy, you know, driving
The cops
around.
were called on him
Yeah.
after he was charged. He harassed one of the victims, like everything. The cops were called. A police report was made right then and there. That should have done something right then and there. But no, absolutely not.
That's where Clock was so wrong. I mean, I think that he should have been, to not think he needed to be withheld, you know, and nothing.
Bail either.
No, nothing to hold him to.
It's not like he doesn't have it. He just got a brand new car.
And when he's able to be a threat. I mean, he's a threat to the people around us.
Yeah.
That's right. Ottaviano took over Watazik's Facebook page. Absolutely. Thank you, Wade. Yep. That's right. Yeah, no, it's a mess. There's no way. There's no one. There is no one. I don't even know. You got to even watch Erie County because he does work there.
Yeah, so did Gospel in New Erie County. Well, Janelle is now Buffalo City Court judge.
And what? Yeah, that's another thing that it was an interesting situation. That's not normal.
No.
Not as normal. Like, I know people that were elected and that didn't happen to.
Right. She could have, anybody could have, there was others who could have immediately taken the bench. She, I guess, went around saying that's normal, that all people who are voted in for judge have to go for the first year to a different county. You know what? It's not everybody's as stupid as she thinks they are. Like, there are actually lawyers and stuff like that out there willing to tell the truth to people. Right. It's not normal. It's because of conflicts. Like she said that there would not be any. But, you know,
who knows when she comes back either, because those conflicts aren't going away.
No.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter in a year. They're still going to be there.
No, the taxpayers are paying for a judge. It's not even there right now.
Yeah. That's something. I swear I've never heard of it ever before this. I'm guessing there was someone else who did at one point. I don't know who, but I know from my brothers and then my niece, they didn't go.
Right.
They didn't end up in Buffalo or anywhere else, so I don't understand.
I've spoken to a few people who are able to give me the answers on that would know what they're talking about. They said, no, it's 100% because of conflicts. It's just, and you know what? I'm hoping, which I'm not allowed to say, I know she's being looked into and in trouble. I mean, that's already, everyone knows that, for her involvement with D'Angelo. But she should be honestly in jail. But regardless, she shouldn't even be allowed to run for intimidating and threatening victims.
Yeah.
No.
No, you're...
No, it's disgusting. As a woman, too.
It's and then we got some comments here. I'm going to read off real quick. Bill Nye says that he was made judge by Maziarz. That is true. Good friends. Damon says, what about the judge she was traded for? Would she be allowed to oversee the case? I don't even know if there's been a trade made. I don't think anyone's come here. And anyways,
Rebecca Town or something like that.
Oh, she's come to the city?
Yeah, she's...
Okay. But she can't be involved. She's not a county judge, so she can't.
Right? Yeah,
be
nobody can. No city judge can be involved at all. Has to be a county judge.
And Jerry DelZoppo is right. I agree with him. I mean, Clock is solely responsible for allowing the predator to roam the streets.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because then if that was what got me when I read that time in the paper when he said why he wasn't a risk.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up myself, like what are reasons for bail, and one of them is, the community.
Yeah.
That he's a danger.
And even you've seen John Flynn and Lynn Rita both said he's a flight risk.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already tried running to Arizona. He's he's already tried before.
No one can understand it. I've talked to just earlier today. I won't mention their name, but someone who's a media guy is just blown away still by that he's out there, and it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You can't make this stuff up. And then when you go around our county with everything else that has gone on, like sex crimes in Niagara County are not. I don't. Maybe it's not just Niagara County because we're gonna talk about something in a minute. Aren't really taken seriously. It seems.
No.
Because all those guys that are pretty much predators, well, a couple of them that were given jobs in the legislature, they're predators. I mean, you don't do what you do in front, and not be one.
It's like if you're a politician, you know what I mean?
I don't understand. I don't know how someone could, like. Here's I didn't get a chance to ask. Assemblyman Morinello, I don't know if he'd have even had an answer for this. That's why it probably wasn't even a fair question. People go into civil court and admit to doing things, and it doesn't matter. They walk out just like they walked in.
Right.
The law, there's I don't know. There's common sense, and then there's the law. No, they're not the same.
No.
Because how the hell could I go if I'm brought up on these horrible charges of hurting children and whatever, and I'm being brought in there, and I can just say, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
And be done. I'm free.
Yeah,
I'm a free man. They don't even put you on a list.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. Something's got to change. I don't know what it's gonna take to make people wake up and be angry about it.
That's what I was going to ask you. How do you move the needle here? And what I mean is, how does it move? What more do you need?
Exactly. I don't understand if people are just because it's not their child, but I don't know. As just a person in general, not even just as a parent, but a person in general, doesn't that bother people just because it's not your child?
Right.
Doesn't it bother to see a child being molested or abused? Unless it's a trend, I guess, on social media.
Well, right. I mean, I didn't need all of this to happen for me to feel the way I feel today.
Right.
I just didn't. I didn't need all that. Robin was the igniter in some things for,
Yeah.
but I didn't need it. I would have still felt the same. You just I don't get it. It's the whole thing that Wade and I have talked about before. And you got to be able to put yourself in someone else's position.
Right.
Sometimes. There's one position I can't, though, and that's a position of those predators. It's hard. I can't put myself in that mindset. No. I could put myself in the mindset of somebody who wanted to, and this is terrible, to murder. Mm-hmm. You could almost understand, there is certain situations where I could see it.
Exactly.
Well, but as a predator like that?
No, there's no.
Animal. See, and this is the other thing. I love animals.
Yeah.
I even put a Facebook post out about some guy, some scumbag who hurt an animal. It was on one of those mugshot things. Yeah. So yes, love animals. So this, what I'm going to say has nothing to do with that. But if an animal gets hurt, everyone can come together and all as one agree.
Yeah.
No one's saying, well, let's see. I mean, this guy innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. I don't know if he really. Who knows? There's none of that. No one asked. Yeah. But when someone get like these situations, Jesus, we can't even agree that children shouldn't get raped.
Right, and then I even see the people who are like, oh, well, animals are children. You should be worried about children. Where are those people?
Right.
I don't.
See it in our court system where Michael Vick gets a very stiff charge compared to killing Casey Anthony killing.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, Michael. If you can't hear Wade saying Michael Vick, he did get yes for the dog thing where he was dog fighting, and well, Casey Anthony, they not guilty. There she goes. Well, hell, even if we go to football, Adrian Peterson beat his kids with sticks, and they didn't. Nothing. He's still playing. He was fine. I mean, no, you're right. I mean, and it's not against animals. I love animals.
I love animals. Yeah,
it's just
true,
the way it
like
looks.
You gotta. Yeah, it's true.
How can't we unify around that? Around we are not going to take predators of any sort, child or adult.
Right.
Both. It doesn't matter.
That's actually a question, like, for anybody who's watching. What do you guys suggest? Let us know. What do you suggest that it takes or people should do to get them to open up their eyes and start speaking out about this situation, not just the Nick D'Angelo situation, but children being sexually abused in general. In your city, our county, our city, you have multiple sexual predators on rape charges walking free, representing you, your kids, everything. Just let us know if you have any ideas what it should take or what we should do to open people's eyes.
I mean, look what's coming here with the school district in Niagara Falls, Kenmore, not just Niagara Falls, all over.
Yeah.
It's not just here for that one. The church thing, obviously that was crazy. If you want to go to all these, they were all kind of like little sacred cows, because you didn't want to talk about the church, you didn't want even the schools.
Right.
You want to believe the schools are there to teach, for what they're there for, but instead we see throughout the decades they've been just abusers of the men and of the boys and girls. So yeah, what does it take? What a great question. I'll watch people that will defend. I've never seen. Well, defending, worried about that the guy who's being brought up on charges of molesting children. Yeah, they're worried about the fact that he's going to lose money because he goes to civil court.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
Civil court means nothing, by the way. You know
my
that.
mom and my dad, they had to pay $13,000 for a civil lawyer. There's nothing right now out of it. He's just walking free, raping people still, laughing. He has his job, but they were worried about that.
I wonder.
Worried like that. Oh, and according to Ken Hamilton too, I guess if it was up to him, I would be in jail. I would be in jail for coming forward and making.
For actually speaking your
your
story.
Having people come forward to make false accusations or something like that. Well, that's why you are not a police officer.
Well, isn't it funny though how quickly they came to rally around?
Oh yeah.
And I noticed that. I think we talked about this before. If anyone of the court, I don't care if it's a lawyer, judge, let's go police, anybody, and politician, they really get to. Then you see that they get around them, like they rally around and they try to protect these people, these scumbags, and I don't know. I'll never understand it, and I don't think anyone's got an answer for it. Why they can't just feel it? You don't have to have your granddaughter or your grandson or your kids hurt to know what that. You can't.
Right.
Do you not have any?
Right.
I mean, is there blood?
But then you see people all the time be like, "Oh man, if I ever found out, somebody was hurting a kid." Actually, Jason Conti from the Little Bakery, really quick, he messaged me one time. Because he got caught with me trying to help Nick and Janelle, and he said, "Oh, wait till I see Nick D'Angelo. I'm gonna beat the crap out of him if I find out it's true." I sent him the article of when Nick got charged. I said, "Hey, look at this. Did you see this? You gonna beat the shit out of him now?"
Nothing.
Jason? Oh, I'm doing something. I'm hunting. I'm gonna look at it later. I'm hunting. Okay, so
I'm doing something.
It's been what, like maybe a year later? He's still hunting, dude. Like, I mean, these people say this to make themselves look good, to make it look like they're a good person, but you. I'm not saying go beat the shit out of people, but just show, even though it would be great, but just show people that you give a crap.
You know what else happens? And we've all had this here, that all of us with Gorillas Inc., I know for sure, yourself, obviously you're part of us. We have come forward on people and have taken more unbelievable backlash. Yeah. And I think of one nitwit, and I'm not going to mention the name, who was the kitty porn guy. Wow, did they explode?
Oh, yeah.
You would have thought, it was unbelievable. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. They make it hard on a victim. They make it hard even on people that want to be an advocate for a victim, I feel like.
You've seen obviously, you were doing the interview, but even Janelle's other campaign manager, when she said, you you guys have a great platform. You could be using it for victims to come forward. And I'm just like, did she just say that? What is it?
She said in that interview, I'll never forget it. Rape is a lot like divorce. Because I believe she said when she was divorced, yes, she was on the couch. She was very upset, but eventually had to get up and get going. We'll have to clip it up. It's a fun clip.
This fucking compares me to Jeff Faso too.
Yes, and this is a great interview.
Oh yeah,
that's right. You compared to.
Oh, you got compared to.
Yes,
him?
he did.
So did I.
Yeah,
so did I. I was the Jeff
unbelievable.
Faso of Dom's campaign.
What? You know what? Let me do something real quick. There is, and it's the other one. Yes, bring that up for a second. Majority of states' laws treat sexual assault perpetrators differently if the victims drink. Now, here in New York State, it's called the Voluntary Intoxication Loophole. If a person had a drink or drank or did recreational drugs, before being sexually assaulted, the way that the senator who brought it forward to kill this loophole made it sound is the chances of you being able to press charges are slim. And your chances of seeking justice, forget it. Because in this state, in many states in the country, if you went out to the bar, and like every young person does, and older too, but you get what I'm saying, go out and have drinks, you're open season. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know what? A lot of the times, that's when rapes do happen.
Right.
I mean, first of all, when you're a teenager, or even if you're underage, or, when you first turn 21 and stuff, you want to go out and drink and have fun. How many times have people, I mean, at least me or somebody, have drank, didn't know their limit, passed out, drunk, and so you mean to tell me somebody can't? I know people who that's happened to, easily take advantage of them. But yeah, no, I mean, that's not rape because you were drinking.
I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. I've heard it before, and sadly, one of the people we had that happen to them. Yeah. And it's sad, terrible. But I couldn't believe it's an actual loophole in the New York State thing. I was unbelievable.
That's why
who puts that in there? Like, who's the one? We need to find. That's what they need to find out. Who actually wrote that in? Hey,
Steve Pigeon.
If you drink and you took drugs, you know what? Don't worry. Nothing you can do. Yeah. You get it. You deserve it.
Nick D'Angelo, Frank Parletto, they probably all had a part in that too.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't all these rapes and stuff happen? They allow it.
I swear I never heard of it. Did you? I mean,
I thought
knew
that would
it
be
happened.
the number one thing for you to be able to press charges.
If you aren't able to consent, then it's rape. Right, Gail. And that was the whole thing, and that's why, luckily, I wish I could remember the senator's name, and now it's going to the Assembly. I didn't get a chance to ask Assemblyman Morinello. Because, if you can't consent because, you got disabilities or, all that kind of stuff, then it is. But they're saying if you voluntarily drink or do recreational drugs and you become incapacitated, too bad.
Yeah, that's
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. It's like wow.
I was stunned. In all the research we do and stuff, I never came across it.
I didn't know that either. I actually thought the total opposite. That's when you would have a very good case.
Yeah, like here it says, if a person gets intoxicated voluntarily, even to the point where they can't give consent, they could be sexually assaulted and have few legal options for holding their perpetrators accountable. The New York State Senate passed a bill to close the loophole. Now the Assembly has to work on it.
Yeah, they do.
I wonder why that takes so long, by the way. That should be very quickly done.
Right.
Expedited, I guess, right?
Right.
Let's talk about something else. There's a wacky, I don't know. You know what? I don't pay attention to it too much, but there's a Facebook page. The Action? Niagara? Yeah,
Niagara Action. It changed so much, I feel like.
Yeah.
And the Action 716.
Who? We don't know who it is. Or do you know who it is? Does anyone know?
Yeah. 100%
Is it
Nick D'Angelo. I even spoke to the guy who owned it before him and got sold. Nick paid for it, bought it out. So yeah, Nick D'Angelo. Guy out here on 12 rape charges, including a minor. It owns a media site. So the Niagara Action, the Action 716. He was obviously the managing editor of the Niagara Reporter, but that one went.
Yeah. I've noticed lately. I saw they've been. Did you see that one? I saw the action with the girl who was kidnapped or something, or not, whatever it was, missing. but it was on the Niagara Report, but
Yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah, they share all those pages. They like shares it to them.
That's a real kick in the ass when you see him put out that stuff about the kids or about someone being
Yeah, and I actually
missing.
was messaged by another page, and they said, have you noticed recently Nick has been on the Niagara Action page posting constantly about missing teenagers? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? And you know what? Pages should be, but when it comes to somebody like him, he's probably I wouldn't put it past him to be the one doing that shit, trying to throw people off. You know, it's
I know.
sick.
No, it is. I don't. There is no way. There's just no way that this guy. I don't even know what to say. You talk to people from out of town. We've had so many out of town guests, and I will, bring it up, and they're just just blown away that you'd be able to be. First of all, okay, if they put bail on you and you bail out, I get it, but nothing.
Right.
Just.
Even the people working on this case, like the DA and all that, they even said like makes no sense. Makes no sense how he's even still working.
Yeah, it's got to be awkward.
Yeah.
Walking in the courtroom. I mean, it's just
somebody said that they see him at Wegmans, that he goes to Wegmans all the time, like he doesn't give a shit.
He can't even Instacart. He's got to go right in.
Right.
Right. Jeez. Goes right in. Well, yeah, he don't. Oh, that's right. We saw him at breakfast that time in Lockport. Yep. Proudly walking around.
No shame.
No.
Walking out of the back in the kitchen.
Yeah, they let him go out the back for some reason. He came in the front, and he left through the back door. I just don't know. I don't know what more to say. I mean, this is...
Yeah.
There's... What's going to be really sad, is when someone ends up...
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When God forbid, someone ends up dead.
I wouldn't doubt if something like that already happened, but it's just... He's violent, man. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He'll do whatever.
And then he's involved in... And then they're all involved in the CPS stuff, and everything's all intertwined.
The fucker followed me home a lot.
Yeah, you got followed. I remember. Wasn't that after the...
It was after the fucking protest.
The protest.
Yeah, the protest.
That's right.
Yeah, he was driving by, too, a lot. I mean, I wouldn't know why, according to Janelle or nothing, but,
I communicated with him forever, and I had no idea. Joanna Smith. Yeah. I didn't know at first. Now, remember, I used to tell you about.
He gave us all this information.
Awesome information.
About,
everything.
Yeah. And we played along with it after we found out for a little bit it was him.
And it was true, everything he said. Like, everything he gave us about Janelle.
Oh, he showed me months before what they were going to do with Dominic Saraceno, with that whole thing about he didn't really go to Georgia, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But he was so stupid, he doesn't realize there's Georgia State and Georgia University of Georgia. So, he
They were just so desperate to get it.
He showed me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It worked for a little bit.
He actually sent me the video of himself, like a screen of him on the computer, like showing the,
Oh, yeah.
Remember
I
that?
remember seeing that, yeah. Yeah, he gives himself away. That's the thing, though. Like, he thinks of these ideas. He'll do it. It might work a little bit at first, but he's so stupid. That's even a nice word for it. He's so stupid that he gives himself away every time. Every time. It's like, you're screwed regardless. I mean, it sucks because he is going to prison. There's no way out of prison for him for a few things that I'm not allowed to say, but...
Yeah. God forbid.
I don't know how much he's going to get with some of this, but he needs to go.
If something bad were to... I'd hate to see. People were afraid, and I hate to say this, but I don't know what else to say because I know the DA said it to us. But if, there were certain times in the country where, oh my God, if this trial goes a certain way, all hell's going to break loose. And I remember like the OJ trial is. That's when I'll remember the most.
Yeah.
This might have that same feeling because there's a lot of people that people don't even realize that have been affected. You know what I mean? Between families, you're talking hundreds.
Well, there's a lot of people sitting back quiet, too. I mean, I don't try to... I mean, as much as I say people need to speak out, there are some people I could understand who have to deal with either him or Janelle's threatening them, whatever. But there are a lot of people. And I know that if it doesn't go the way that it needs to be, those people aren't going to stay quiet. No, it's going to be really bad on every single one of them.
They better do what's right. And right now, they haven't even picked a jury. They haven't done anything.
No, and they have more than enough. They have more than enough evidence right now, and I know this for a fact, to put him away if they wanted to.
You would think so.
More than enough.
Even just a little I know seems to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hate to see if those charges were against anyone that I. Geez. I mean, on something else. The Child Victims Act, it died. Remember, it died on August of last year. Not coming back, from what I understand, from talking to people I've talked to. It's never coming. There's no appetite to bring it back.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's because some of them
I know.
help the law know that something would be coming their way too.
They don't want it. It's dead, and it's sad because I still think I was saying you still got to keep pushing for it though. I don't care. I just keep asking. But it's gone, and it's almost like everyone's relieved, and it's disgusting. Yeah. Lawyers are relieved, the courts are relieved, the lawmakers are relieved. Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't get it. Everyone's relieved, and makes me sick. I mean, I was really pissed off today when I realized, you know what, this stuff ain't coming. There ain't no way.
Yeah, no, it's sickening.
And when they put it out there, remember all the incredible. They had the Catholic Church, all these different lobbying threatening. Yeah. The lawmakers, don't do it. Yeah. I'm going to say something about Governor Cuomo, and I never say anything good about him. I'm going to say one good thing about him. There's a few things he did when it comes to this that I didn't know. Like, for example, in 2019, he changed the statutes of limitations on second-degree rape from it was only 5 years. He changed it to 20. He changed third-degree rape from 5 years to 10 years. He eliminated statutes of incest. There was no statutes on incest anymore. But there were. I will give him that credit.
Yeah, he did do. I mean, there are things that he did.
I mean, I know what he was, but
you know what, though, he actually
some of that wasn't bad.
Resigned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He actually resigned. He stepped down.
Yeah. This here, though, to me, I got to say, he screwed up COVID. He was a mess. He's an egomaniac and all of those things. Killed his party over there. The Green Party's no longer, and it's not even a joke. It's messed up that he did that to different. Not even just the Greens. There's others, but he did this, right. And that wasn't. I mean, to go from that was what I was asking to Assemblyman there, Morinello. Yeah. How do we do that? First degree rape is first degree rape, but yet, and there's no statutes. But no one wants to do it.
No, nobody wants to. It sounds like it's.
No one wants to charge it.
No.
I don't know. The law, like I said, has no common sense or something.
All right. If I knew that it was going to be this bad when I was younger, I would have became a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah. Lawyers. Could you imagine, though? Every lawyer I'm running into, and this is really upsetting, it isn't going well.
No.
They just, and not all of them, okay? So I know I have lawyer friends out there that would be, don't take this personally, because it's not all of you. That'd be a shame to say. But man, the majority of them are very... Yeah. Very arrogant and don't really take the time and kind of just blow you off.
Yeah, I've only met a few that were good, and I feel like the rest of them were like, what the F?
They don't even realize. You know what makes me mad? There's people that they need a lawyer, and it's at their worst point of their life when they need a lawyer. Like they're on the bottom, it. They're the worst off they could be, and these motherfuckers, they won't even.
Yeah, and then.
They just don't care. They don't even answer you. They won't call you. Nothing.
No, yeah, they don't. It's
disgusting.
It's hard to find. And then you pay so much money for one.
Yeah.
You pay a lot of money for a lawyer to help you.
The judicial system sucks.
It's
terrible. It needs a huge overhaul. Yeah. I don't know how it would happen. And, sadly, I was thinking about it. It doesn't happen till I'm gone, I'm sure, if it's going to. But you need generations of people to just pass away.
Yeah.
For that, maybe, hopefully, with all the awareness you spread and all that and all this awareness, maybe the younger ones, like your kids' ages, my grandkids, Wade's kids' ages, they're the ones that can make this change because we're too embroiled with a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
I got people my own age that act that are nitwits, and I hate to say it, but I don't think I'm going to see it. I got to go. The generation's got to change.
It does. Yeah, something's got to.
The kids are our only chance.
I remember seeing a message from Nick to a girl saying that the reason why he became a lawyer is so something like that would never happen to him again.
Jeez.
So that's how that happened. So some of them think that way too.
Wow.
He said that.
Well, yeah. If you're in control, I mean, he has proven control. Yeah. And given it to him, it's insane.
That is a definition and of privilege.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me read the numbers, and then I'll do our last thoughts with you, and we'll get out of here. The YWCA is, of course, for me, the YWCA, Area code 716-433-6714 here in Niagara County. And if you're watching from wherever, there's one in almost every county in the country and in Canada. They have counselors that are free, and they'll counsel you from home. They have advocates that'll go to the hospital, will go to court, will go to the police station, will go anywhere with you so you feel comfortable. And that's like, you can't put a price on that stuff. I'll tell you, the YWCA, if you've been hurt in the way we've been talking about tonight, if you're currently being hurt like that, and if you're a loved one of someone who's been hurt, please call them, talk to the counselors. They'll make you understand all the things that we're talking about here tonight, kind of. Why do people take time before they say it? Why these statutes of limitations they're garbage, they got to go away. You'll understand when you talk to them. Also, 1-800-662-4357, that is for mental health, that's for anxiety, that's for depression, that's for suicidal thoughts, which I think everyone, I'd be shocked if you're being honest, everyone's had bad thoughts. Everyone's not wanting to get out of bed. Call that number. They'll get you in touch with people here, or they'll just be there 24 hours a day to help you. Noelle, you got to come back, obviously, a lot. Whenever you want. I'm telling you. You could be here every Monday if you want. Any other Monday, it doesn't matter. Just show up and sit down. Sure, please. I think we're going to have a guest that you might know.
Oh, D?
Yes. I think we're going to bring him in or have him come on virtually.
Oh, no, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I got to figure out what he's doing. He gave me a little bit of it, so I'm hoping we'll get him. So I'm going to give you some last thoughts before we go.
Okay, well, I just want to say once again, thanks for having me on. I love being here. I love that you guys use this platform and everything to help survivors for sexual assault and everything else. And I also want everybody to know, if you or somebody you know has been affected by Nick D'Angelo in any way, shape, or form, message me. You could even message John, Wade, anybody. I will help get you to the right people. And not even just if you've been affected by Nick. I mean, this goes for anybody else. And you feel like you want to come on or talk to us and share a story, or just, this is what we're all here for. So.
Yeah, definitely. You can contact me, Wade, Noelle, Robin, anybody. We'll be there for you. You know how it goes. Yeah. Instantly. For me, what I want to remind everyone is Falls Count Anywhere, our excellent professional wrestling show that we do on Saturdays at 2 o'clock, won't be here this Saturday. They are taking the week off, but they'll be back the following week. I think it's like the 12th, maybe. So this week, maybe we should play an old show maybe on the 5th. That'll be a good idea. We'll give you, if you haven't seen them, maybe one of the first ones, so you can check them out. Me and Julio will be doing Goal Getters, of course, and just stay in touch. Stay tuned to Gorillas Inc. because we have all kinds of stuff, all your entertainment, all your stuff, all your need, all of your entertainment needs here at Gorillas Inc. So for Wade, who's behind the counter over there doing what he does, Robin, who was in the message board, and of course my good friend Noelle, take care. See you next time.